just brought home a new project. My initial plans were to cut it up and graft in the 383 after I dropped in the 440 into my old Dodge pickup. But I got this thing home, started getting a better look at it, and I can't bring myself to cut it up. Mostly because the motor and transmission that I got with this thing are not locked up. I'm pretty sure the motor still has compression. So I will be, I guess you could say, restoring this thing, at least mechanically, and I'm going to do some repairs to the sheet metal. I'm going to show some of the areas that need attention, but I might leave it, I might leave the patina on it, but doing a couple of things to it. But let's take a look at this thing. This is a 1968 Cushman Truckster with the 18 horsepower OMC engine. This model was actually produced between 1965 and 1968, but there's no way to really, unless you have documentation or it's been in your family and you know the exact history of it, there's no real way to track down an exact year. Pretty much you just gotta pick a year you like and then go with it. I like 68 because my Charger, but so I'm calling it a 68. Let's take a look at it. Well, here it is, a 1968 Cushman Truckster, and here is the 18 horsepower, I believe 18 horsepower OMC engine. If I get a look at that, it's upside down. But the motor and transmission are not locked up. The clutch assembly may need some attention, but the motor and transmission are not locked up. The rear end is decent. When I got it, the rear end was actually off of it. The bed was off of it, and I kind of pieced it back together. The rear end, the leaf spring on this side still needs to be reconnected, and I need a leaf spring spreader to do that, and I do not have one, so I'm probably gonna have to make one. But rear end's decent. It just needs some fluid and probably some seals. Here's the gas tank. That looks like a muffler to me. But there's the gas tank. There's the air cleaner assembly. It's got some rust on it, but it's just surface. Here's the bottom side of the air cleaner assembly. Once again, it's good. Just needs to be cleaned up a little bit. And other parts and pieces. This thing is in decent condition for its age. Yes, it needs a lot of work, but it's in decent condition. I will have to take this whole upper piece off, because on both sides it's torn through. So I'm gonna have to take that off and try to weld that back on. Trying to straighten up the metal down here a little bit, get everything working. I was actually surprised to see that this thing actually has, take this out. This thing actually has hydraulic brakes. Obviously, all of that needs to be gone through. But I am super excited about this thing. Like I said, my plans for this thing were I was going to lengthen the frame about 2 or 3 feet to graft in the 383, but with the motor and transmission not locked up and this thing in decent condition for its age, the frame is really solid, the metal is solid, just needs to be massaged back into place, and it'll be good. I don't have the key for it, but that's to be expected. But I do have some extra key cylinders that can probably be used right there. But I want to say this is a gear shifter. It's frozen. Needs to be taken apart and lubricated. But here it is. And here is the OMC 2-cylinder 18 horsepower motor. And with my foot beezer. So the motor is not locked up. Don't know if that starter is going to be working. I guess I'll figure it out. But I don't even know where the spark plugs are in this thing. I'm gonna have to try to find the spark plugs on this thing. But it's not locked up, and the guy said he checked the transmission and believes it has all the gears. So definitely looking forward to jumping in on this thing. Probably going to go ahead and set the motor back in its spot, just to keep the weather off of it. I'm still going to cover it up with that bag, but just keep the weather off of it, and so it's elevated and I can actually tinker with it. But here it is. Well, there's a video, and y'all definitely keep a lookout on videos on this thing coming out. Going to be straightening the metal and lubricating stuff and taking stuff apart and inspecting all kinds of stuff. And kind of bummed that I don't have anything to put that 3D3 into when I'm done. I still have this run stand right here that I'm probably going to bolt it onto. Bolt it back up to that transmission, or figure out something else. But definitely going to be keeping that 3D3 though. But here's my new project. The first thing I'm probably going to be doing with this thing is getting some inner tubes for the tires. That way I don't have to worry about flat tires anywhere. So I'm going to get that and either make or buy a leaf spring spreader tool for that back leaf spring, so I can actually reattach it and take it apart and put it back on as needed. But there it is, and I will see you in the next one.